They're even more grandma.
Yeah.
Good morning, parents and students. Welcome to Chongqing Secondary School's Open House 2022. The program in the auditorium will begin shortly. 5 minutes. Kindly take your seat and turn your mobile devices to silent mode. There are also more seats in the school library on level 3, which will broadcast the live stream of the same program. Thank you.
钢琴就那么小。
有更大的三角钢琴。如果要讲话没意思，咱们就如果要是有表演就看看啊。他要录像。
Principal, principals, parents, and students. Welcome to Zhongha Secondary School. My name is Sheng from class 3-4, and I will be your MC for this segment. This year, our school is excited to welcome you back to our physical open house to experience what Zhongha has to offer. I hope you have had the chance to tour the school. Otherwise, please take the time to learn more about the enriching academic courses, CCA experiences, and school-wide programs that will develop your child to be a scholar and a leader through the years in Zhonghua. Kicking off with student performances, let us put our hands together to welcome our very own choir, who will be performing 2 songs today. Chinese First Symphony is a lively Hokkien folk song from the Fujian province in China. It is imbued with the repeated street calls of a hawker who draws attention to its rice dumplings and their benefits. The second song, I Hear Music in You, is an uplifting song to help guide us through difficult times. It reminds us to hold onto the music in all of us and to sing out loud from our hearts.
hear music in me. I hear music inside of me. And I cannot be silenced. I hear music in me. Injustice not to dream. I may be small, but I know we heard. For I have a song to sing, and I know every part. For the music is straight from my heart. I hear music in me. I hear music inside of me, and I cannot be silenced. I hear music in me. Some hear a song and make, others sing of being free. I hear songs to find their way. That's the music in me, and I know every part. For the music is straight from my heart. I hear music in me. I hear music inside of me, and I cannot be silent. I hear music in me. I hear music in me. I hear music inside of me, and I cannot be silent. I hear music in me. I hear music in
Thank you, Kaya, for the stirring performance. The Chongpa Choir is made up of 60 young and enthusiastic singers who share their passion for music. During choir singing practices, our choristers learn a diverse repertoire of music pieces ranging from soundtracks of well-known musicals to songs of different languages and genres. Next up, our English Language Literary, Drama and Debate Society, or ELDDS, will be putting up a short skit that follows the journey of a boy once newly enrolled in Chongpa. What challenges will he face? What help can he receive? Let's find out.
Hi everyone, I was once just like you, a P6 student, going for a zillion open houses my parents brought me to. Girl, it's important for you to know what you want. Girl, you must see the school. And so I did.
Welcome to Zhss.
We have AEP. Do you know what AEP is? Arts Elective Program. We are one of the 7 schools in Singapore to offer such an enriched program.
7 schools only?
Yes, and we are one of them. Do you know how?
Hey, let me join you. I am a student leader. In Songhua, we are trained to be future-ready scholars and leaders. We excel academically and are leaders in our CCAs, class care committees, counselors, monitors, and so much more.
But that's not all. We put our students' mental well-being at the forefront. We have class care monitors to help you in case you need help and just someone to talk to.
Hey boys and girls, do you know you achieve excellent results for all subjects?
English,
E-Maths,
science,
chemistry,
biology,
History,
literature,
social studies, geography,
art.
elements of business studies.
Slow
down,
please.
Sorry. And not only that, we also have
Coding,
computing, design and technology, and
nutrition and food science. But what is simply studying without some drama in your life? We give you all the drama you want. Tragedy, comedy, and romance. No need for K-drama. Drama is life.
Ah!
No, really, drama is great.
And we have basketball. Shoot.
and we also have dance.
There were so many options and I was overwhelmed. But what got me in the end was,
Hey, you know, I used to be like you, B6 student.
and that was what did it for me. It wasn't the companion school programs, although they are great. It wasn't a long list of subjects, although they are fantastic and gave me many options. It wasn't even the variety of CCAs, especially the drama club, although they are great. At the end of the day, it was the people who made the difference. It was where I knew I could be at home and where I aspired to be a student leader one day,
Helping someone.
just
Like me.
Thank you, ERDDS. Bound by a common love for the arts, ERDDS offers opportunities for drama as well as debates. Students learn to step in the shoes of others and think from multiple perspectives, which are invaluable skills and competencies to prepare students for the dynamic world. Without further ado, may I welcome our principal, Ms. Cindy Lowe, to introduce the full array of programs and learning opportunities that Chongqing offers. Ms. Lowe, please.
Good afternoon, students and parents. Welcome again to Zhonghua Secondary School. Okay, did you enjoy the performances earlier? Yes, great. Can you please give a round of applause to my students again? Thank you. Okay, so you'll see our students. Feel free to ask them questions. You also see my colleagues. They're all dressed in the green polo shirt. So at any point, if you've got questions, you can always reach out to us and we'll try to address your queries as best as we can. Okay, before I start, I would like to introduce you to the vice principals of the school as well. So we have Mr. Koh Tai Hong. Actually, they are all three of them seated over there. That's Mr. Koh, Mr. Tan, and Mr. Mak Hong. Okay, so they are vice principals. Okay, I will now before we start anything, can I just do a quick poll? Because we have many ways of reaching out to the parents and to students, and we also want to know what has worked well for us. Okay, so you see 4 options. Okay, how did you find out about school? The first option is the school outreach to primary schools. So earlier on, I was talking to my colleagues who did the outreach talks, and they shared that there are a few students that actually came and said, hello, remember me? You came to talk to us. So we're very happy that all those talks had an impact on the students. Then 2, word of mouth. You could have heard about school from your family members, from friends, or other contacts like colleagues that you may have. 3, school website. Okay, and 4, our social media pages, where you can also find out some of our most updated news about what's happening in school. So with a show of your fingers, can you just show me 1, 2, 3, or 4? That's how you got to know about our school. Okay, I see 1. The 1s are all the little children. Then the 2, the 3s, and the 4s are more from the adults in the room. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think there are many ways that you have come to hear about us, but I really hope that what you hear, whether it's directly from our students, what you read about, are all consistent in the kind of values that we want to impart to our students, the kind of programs where we design very specially to build certain kinds of competencies that we want to see in them. Okay, so let me share a little about our school's vision, mission, and values. These are what we hope to develop Zhonghua to become by the end of their 4 or 5 years with us. Our vision is scholars, leaders, or in Chinese, 博学领袖. Okay, so scholars, what do we mean by that? Okay, it's not about getting scholarship or being scholarly, but really it's about the disposition that we want to inculcate in our students, to embrace lifelong learning, to always be curious, to want to find out new things, to have this thirst for knowledge. Okay, leaders, at the end of the day, we hope that they are not just good in what they do, but they're anchored in strong values and they feel a sense of purpose in how they can contribute to the community, to the society. Okay, our mission is to nurture passionate learners, dynamic leaders, and connected citizens. And you will hear these, hopefully from my students as well. Okay, but later on when I go on to describe the programs that we run for the students, you will also see how we try to do this in our various programs and efforts. These are our school motto and school values. 礼义廉耻 is our school motto, time-tested for many, many years and continues to be relevant to us. Again, in English, it means to be courteous in conduct, righteous in principle, edified in character, and dignified in reflection. Okay, so our school values, okay, are resilience, integrity, care, and excellence. So if you look at the first letter of every word, it spells out RICE, R-I-C-E. Okay, just like how rice is a staple part of our Asian diet, we also hope that this will become core or key to our students' character and development. Okay, so before I go on to say more, I think let us share a little about our school's story and our school's journey in the last 111 years. Okay, Zhonghua was founded 111 years ago. Okay, so we really have a very rich history, rich stories that we can share with you. So let's do the video. Just hold on there. Just wait a while my students try to stop that. They are our heroes, in action. Every time something doesn't work, we just wait, and then they will save us. We'll wait for the video to get started. Maybe I'll share a little bit more first. Okay, so Zhonghua was started by a group of Chinese businessmen. Okay, they started the school with this vision of providing educational opportunities to girls, right? Which previously in the past, girls didn't have a chance to go to school. So it's with this vision in mind that they started Zhonghua. And over the years, we have stayed true to this vision because we really believe that every child should have an opportunity to good education. Okay, and through doing so, we also hope that they will be able to contribute back to the society. Okay, and we have continued to do the same, opening our doors and embracing students from different backgrounds and ensuring that they have a good education regardless of where they come from and what they have at home. Okay, well, our apologies for the technical difficulties. It's okay, we'll skip the video. Okay, some of the videos you can also see on our school website. Our apologies for that. Okay, so I'll just move on. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a slide that captures our history, so I'm a little bit distracted too. Okay, but what you can see is over the years, we have grown from strength to strength. Okay, we continue to emphasize a lot on our Chinese culture, a lot on our Chinese traditions. And last year, we celebrated our 110th anniversary with a virtual celebration. Okay, of course, we'd have loved to do it differently, but this will have to do for now. Okay, I'll move on to share a little about our signature programs. Okay, unfortunately, the video that you today miraculously works. The jobs we take on and skills required will be different from today. Our young people need to be adaptable in navigating complexities. They must be confident to try new ideas, create new things, and find innovative solutions to new problems. They must be able to work well with people of diverse backgrounds, to learn fast, unlearn, and relearn. With resilience and continual learning, they will rise to the challenges of tomorrow. Okay, so as you can hear from the video, the world that we're preparing our young for is going to be a very different world. And I think with the pandemic over the last 3 years, it has become even more evident, okay, that the world, we can prepare them for this new world, but no matter what, we must always be able to adapt to changes along the way. So it is with that, with all these things in mind, with these qualities that we want to develop in our students, adaptability, creativity, ability to work with different people, that's why we design our signature programs in such a manner. So this is the framework of our programs. If you can see the dark green circle, okay, those are the competencies that we want to develop in our students. Okay, so these are the 21st century competencies, what we think will make them ready for the future. Not just about going on to the next course of study or the next institution of their choice, but more importantly, it's about preparing them to take on the challenges when they enter the workforce, when they have to work with different groups of people, so on and so forth. Okay, so the outermost circle, the most colorful circle, those are our various programs, which I will touch on later, bit by bit. Okay, but they can be broadly categorized into three broad strengths, namely the first, science and technology education, second, environmental sustainability education, and lastly, global perspective education. Okay, there is no mistake in the word global. Okay, sometimes you get asked this question, is there a spelling mistake? Is it global? Okay, it's deliberate because what we want them to be able to do is to take an interest, okay, and be able to work towards local issues that are faced by the community and society, and also the global issues, the larger issues that we are all trying to find solutions for example, the environment, so on and so forth. Through our programs, we hope to develop in our students, okay, and equip them not only with the knowledge, but also the competencies and also the values, right? So these are what our programs are designed to do. Across the different programs, you'll realize later as you hear me talk about each of them, that there are a few things that they all have in common. Number one, we look out for opportunities where the students are able to apply the learning, apply the skills in authentic situations, authentic problems. Two, we talk about problem solving, okay, where we're looking at how they can overcome challenges that they face, okay, or society faces, okay, and be able to come up with creative, innovative solutions for these that are not just that not just creative, but really that they are feasible and can be implemented with ease. Okay, and lastly, they will have opportunities to work with peers across different groups, different projects, different areas, so that they can also learn, okay, from peers around them and to tap on the strengths, the talents that each of them comes with. First up, I'll share a little bit about our art elective program. Okay, this is what we call in short AEP. We are one of the 7 schools you heard from the ELTS students earlier. Okay, it's a 4-year program, okay, leading to O-level art or O-level higher art for the students. Okay, they have opportunities through this to explore different kind of art medium. They have a chance to meet artists, talk about art, learn about the history of art, and work with students who offer AEP in other schools as well. Okay, and our students also have the chance to have their works displayed at national platforms. Okay, so this is a student of ours, Rian, who has gone through 2 years of the AEP, and this is her reflection. The AEP nurtured my skills in art, painting with different media and crafts such as clay modeling and pottery. I had opportunities to explore the unique styles of many artists and learned more about the different art movements in the past. Okay, so students who are interested, passionate, have a talent for the arts, please join us and sign up for the AEP. Starting from next year, we'll also offer AEP not only to express course students, but also students from the other courses. Okay? We also have the STEM program for students who are not so inclined towards the art. Okay, so STEM program, STEM in short for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Okay, so you will be aware that in Singapore, we've spoken a lot about STEM education. We're trying to push for this area because that is our edge as a nation. And in school, in Johor, we do the same as well to give the students exposure to these areas, the computational thinking, applied learning, so on and so forth. Okay, so our lower secondary normal course students go through the robotics course, and this is integrated with math and science, so that what they learn in robotics, they can also apply, okay, to math and science curriculum and vice versa. Okay, computer and data literacy, we offer this to all our lower secondary express and normal CAT students. Okay, our MT students do CPA, so that also prepares them in terms of digital literacies. For this particular program, actually is quite new, I would say, for the last few years. Part of the reason is also because we have gone on board the National Digital Literacy Program, and we understand the importance for our students to be equipped with all these competencies when they receive the PLE. Okay, so in secondary 1, our Sec 1 students coming in next year, they will be purchasing a personal learning device. Okay, in our school, we use the Microsoft Surface Go that the students can purchase and use to support their learning, both in school and at home. Okay, but when they're given such devices, we all know they also have to be taught how to use this responsibly and effectively. So they learn these through the computer and data literacy programs. Okay, O-level computing is offered as well at the upper secondary level. So students with an interest in this area, and already earlier in the earlier talk, we've had parents asking about this. So parents who are planning way ahead, in terms of what the child is good at, interested in. So they get to offer computing at O levels. So if this is an area that interests you, you can also consider this. Earlier on, I had mentioned a little bit about computer and data literacy. So as I mentioned, our Set 1 students will have their learning devices. So they go through 1 year of computer literacy program. We also have the data literacy program, okay, or data literacy built into what we call our lower secondary STEM program. So as part of data literacy, they learn to access information, make sense of information, through their research, okay, collect data, interpret, analyze, and then present this information in a way that is meaningful for the audience to help them to understand. Okay, so I'll share a little quote from Sherilyn, Sec 2 this year. Okay, in STEM lessons, I learned how to analyze data to make an infographic and the different steps of designing a product to solve sustainability problems, which we will be able to directly apply in the future. So if you look at the photo on the left, there is actually one example of an infographic designed by our students to capture the kind of research that they have conducted and use the information to inform the kind of decisions or the kind of solutions that they are proposing. Environmental sustainability, earlier on I shared, is a key strength of the work that we do, also because we recognize that this is a challenge that our young people will face. Right, whether it's globally, we talk about climate change. Locally, we also talk about the Green Plan 2030. And we know that as individuals in the community, what we want is for our students to, number one, take an interest in the things that are happening around them. Number two, to actively, proactively think about how they can also be a part of that improvement or a part of the change. Right? So at lower side, what they do is they identify an issue, they work in groups to research on the issue. In their groups, they go through the problem-solving process, they prototype their solutions before they eventually present it to their peers. Okay, so Tiffany in Sec 4 this year went through this, and what she shared was our teachers really emphasized the importance of environmental sustainability and how our generation needs to strive towards this. Okay, so what we want the students to be able to do is not just to learn the knowledge for learning's sake. What we want them to be able to do is to use the knowledge that they have learned, the competencies that they have picked up to actively do something, okay, or to make an improvement or to advocate for positive change. Okay, we also have a cross-cultural program. Okay, so I think, especially with the pandemic, we all realize, right, the opportunities for teams that cut across different countries, different cultures, they are becoming more and more common these days. Our students who have opportunities to go overseas to study, even if they don't, they may meet classmates, schoolmates who come from different countries. When they go out to the workplace, they may also have opportunities to work overseas. Even if that is not the case, in Singapore, we also are seeing teams that are made up of more diverse individuals. So one of the skills that we want our students to be able to pick up is to be able to work with, collaborate with people from diverse backgrounds, from diverse cultures. Okay, and it's very important that they learn to, number one, not only just respect the perspective, okay, but to also be able to work together and get the best out of each individual or of different perspectives. So we have different kinds of programs at assembly, in-class activities. We even have our very own, okay, because Mid-Autumn coincides with our homecoming, so it's a very key event in our school as well, okay, where the students can find out more about the culture. I want to draw your attention to the picture that is on the left. Okay, it is actually a Zoom meeting. Our students used to have the opportunity to travel overseas, our secondary 2 students in particular. They would travel to China, Taiwan, and Thailand as well, okay, for them to have this cross-cultural exchange with peers from schools in these countries. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic and the border closures, right, we were unable to do that for the last 3 years. We will try to bring these back as soon as we can, but we also want to be very cautious. Since we are unable to take them out, what we have done is to bring the experience to them. So this year we organized virtual tours to places like Thailand, Vietnam, and Hong Kong. So this is an example of a local tour guide in Hong Kong going around the place to show the students and to explain the significance of certain cultures and practices. Okay, our student leadership program, I don't think this is new. For many of our P6 students, this should be something that is very familiar because they have class representatives, they have CCA leaders, they also have school prefects, right? So this is an extension, okay? In our school, earlier on I said that our vision is to develop scholars and leaders, and that's why we believe that every single student who comes into us has the potential to lead others. So in serving, they are leading, and in leading, they are also serving the community. So we have 3 tiers in our student leadership program. The first tier focuses more on the personal leadership. In order for them to lead others, they must first be able to lead themselves. So we run cohort-wide leadership programs. Every single student goes through this. Okay, at tier 2 and 3, these are for selected groups of students. Okay, we have different leadership boards, for instance, the student council, the class care committee. You also heard just now the ELPS introduce some of these. We have our sports leaders, we also have our AV leaders. Okay, these are students who will support their peers in their learning. Okay, and lastly, we have our tier 3, that's our top tier, and these students get additional opportunities to serve the school community. So as one thing that we hear from our ex-students, especially when they go on to polytechnics, they go on to JCs, they go on to ITEs, where they have to work very closely with teammates on different projects. One thing that they always tell us is they are very thankful that in their years with Zhonghua, they are well prepared to do that. Okay, and that's why when they go there, they can take on that leadership role with ease and be able to lead the group mates with a lot of confidence. In Zhonghua, we try to have as much or as many opportunities as possible for the students. In fact, more than half of the students have formal leadership appointments. But one thing I always tell the students, beyond the formal leadership appointments, they are leaders every day in their words and their actions. They are inspiring others to do the same. There are small projects that they lead in class as well, okay, class projects, subject projects, or even VIA projects, which I'll say a lot. Okay, this is a development program. It is what we call a stretch program, specially customized for students with higher potential. Okay, so starting from this year, we have included students from other courses as well. So that is because we recognize that each of the students come with very different strengths and talent. Okay, so for TP, they go through different kinds of modules, courses, public speaking, etiquette. In particular, they do a lot of research as well in STEAM area. Okay, so that is STEM that I mentioned, but art as well, because we want them to consider the soft skills as well. All our students undergo the innovation program organized by Gifted Education Branch at MOE. And we are glad that every year the students are excited about it. They present their projects at different platforms, both in school and outside of school. And this year in particular, 2 of our projects got selected to be featured at the Virtual Young Innovators Fair. So we're very, very proud of our students. Okay, so Ariel here shared her learning in the program. PDP and STEAM research have challenged me to brainstorm for solutions, encouraged me to be brave to try new things, and deepened my knowledge of real-world problems. So you can hear right from various programs, these are the competencies that earlier on I spoke about in that video that you managed to watch earlier about preparing our students for the future, okay, for lifelong learning. The learning doesn't end in secondary school. Earlier on in the earlier talk, I had parents coming to ask, oh, so I want my child to do very well in the national exam, which school should I choose? Or they were asking about, different kinds of programs that their child is interested in. And I posed the question to this same parent that I was talking to earlier. Number 1, what do you value for your child? What kinds of learning experiences do you want your child to have? Number 2, what do you want your child to be able to achieve at the end of 4 years? Is it just good academic results, or do you want them to be able to have competencies that will take them to beyond secondary school, that will really allow them to soar right to their fullest potential? And this is why when we design our programs, you'll notice that for each of the programs, we focus a lot on the application, because we know it's not just about the knowledge, which may become obsolete some years down the road, but it's the competencies, these values, these dispositions that will see them through life. Okay, so I've spoken about the programs. Okay, so this part are some of the other additional activities or experiences that our students have. When you talk to our students, I hope you have a chance to talk to them and ask them how life is in Zhonghua, what do they enjoy the most, what excites them the most. And they will usually tell us is this really, really wide variety of experiences and activities that they have a chance to participate in. So in secondary one, okay, or rather at every cohort, there are specially customized programs for the students. Starting from Sec 1 is what we call the Sec 1 orientation program. They do this in the very first week of school that they come in. And the focus of this is to ease them, transit them nicely into secondary one or secondary school life, okay, where they have to learn to become more independent. It's not just about asking mom and dad, so what did the teacher say over dojo, what's the homework for today, but they really have to take responsibility for their own learning. So it's that transition that we want to support them in, okay, and also helping them to form good relationships, both with the teachers and also with the peers who they're going to spend a lot of time with. Okay, so this is our orientation program at secondary 1. At secondary 2, the focus is slightly different. They will all have been in their form classes for about a year. So now they also know more people, okay, not just within the class, but in the CCAs and across the entire cohort. And in Sec 2, we focus a bit more on life skills, including things like first aid, to prepare the students better. At secondary 3, many of the students will go on, like I said earlier, to take on leadership roles, whether it is in our leadership boards, or in their respective CCAs, or even in their classes. So in Sec 3, the focus of the camp or the cohort activity is on building leadership competencies, including confidence building, working with others, so on and so forth. Okay, so you'll notice the Sec 1s and 3s also have what we call the outdoor adventure learning camps, which they are always very excited about. Okay, Sec 1, they always look forward to the kayaking. At Sec 3, the dragon boating, and all the other physical activities that they participate in. At secondary 4, okay, we know that for our students, one thing that inevitably weighs on their minds, okay, and even on our parents' minds, is getting them ready for the national exams. Okay, it's a very long journey, so we try to start the year right by motivating them to give their best. So at Sec 4, the cohort activity focuses more on this motivation, discipline, study skills, so on and so forth. Okay, you'll notice that the photo at the top left, okay, those are our ex-students. They have left the school, but they come back to talk about how they have prepared for their national exams, how the last year in school was like, and also share a little bit about their experiences in the next institution that they go to. Okay, so we do this quite often because we feel that nothing beats hearing from their seniors who are also their role models. Okay, in addition to all that, we also have school events. I think different schools will have different events, but in our school, we really emphasize a lot on values development, one of which is gratitude we want to inculcate in our students. We believe our students get to where they are because many people along the way have invested in their growth, in their development. And we also hope that they can pay it forward and do the same for other people around them. Okay, if each one of our students just brings another peer along with him or her, then we'll definitely have a much stronger community. Okay, so through National Day commemoration of other key events, we hope the students see their role in society, okay, see the value that each individual brings, and is able to really have that come to fruition. Okay, the other thing is values in action. Okay, earlier on I talked about the values in action leaders in the class, right? So every class has a chance to decide on a cause or on a group in the community that they feel strongly about and want to do something for. Okay, so this could be the underprivileged, it could be the physically handicapped, so on and so on. So there are different areas that interest them or that they feel strongly for, and by giving them this choice, we really hope that they will want to continue and do it even after the projects have ended. So on the left, there's a group of students working very closely with NKF, okay, to educate our staff and students on the importance of good dietary habits. And on the right, that's a group of students at the beach doing beach cleanup. Okay, so that's also their way. Different causes, different projects that they embark on, but ultimately with the common goal of applying what they have learned to bring about positive change in the community. Okay, so the next part is on our CCAs. Okay, I'll be showing a video shortly Okay, and later I'll ask a question. Just pay a lot of attention and observe what goes on in the video. Okay, come this. Okay, very simple question, and only the students can answer this. How many CCAs were featured in the video? How many? Yes. How many? 20. Very nice. Did you know the answer before or after you watched the video? Or mommy gave the answer? Ah, so we know who's the one doing the research. Huh? Okay, the earlier group was the student. And when I asked the student, she said, oh, because I read up, I found out before I came here. So very good, our students nowadays are very tech savvy. Okay, and are able to check out all our websites. Okay, so correct answer is 20. We have 20 CCAs for the students to choose from. And our 20 CCAs fall into 4 large baskets of CCAs. So the first is that of clubs and society. Okay, second, performing arts group. And then third, the uniformed groups. And then lastly, the sports and games. Okay, so under our clubs and societies, earlier actually you saw one group in action, and that is our ELDS students. Okay, but in addition to that, we also have our art club, we have our Chinese society, we have our infocom club, and we have library club as a second CCA. Okay, so students in the library club usually will have one CCA, and library is the second one because they're very interested in doing this. Okay, under our PAGs, our performing arts groups, okay, we have choir. Earlier on, you heard their beautiful voices. We also have our Chinese orchestra. For parents who were here very early in the morning, okay, you might also have a chance to see our dance students in action. Okay, we also have Guzheng and symphonic band. And at every SYF, our students do very well in the SYF. Okay, next year is SYF year again. So for students joining us, you will also have a chance to be featured in the SYF. These are our uniformed groups. There are 6 uniformed groups. Okay, Boys Brigade, Girls Brigade, National Cadet Corps, National Police Cadet Corps, NPCC, Scouts, and NCDCC, National Civil Defense Cadet Corps. Okay, so this is new in 2023. Okay, our Set 1 students, when they come in, are able to choose from this group of CCAs or this group of UGs. Okay, NCDCC is very exciting. I think our students just went for a conversion course and they learned how to put out fire and things like that. So I think that could pique some of their interest. Okay, and our UGs do very well every year in the Uniform Group Awards. Okay, and all gold units. Sports and games. Okay, we have 4 in total: badminton and basketball for the girls, and table tennis and volleyball for the boys. Okay, so with the 20 CCAs, I am very sure our students will be able to find something that they're interested in, they're passionate about, and they want to grow in over the next 4 or 5 years. Okay, so I've shared a lot, right, about our programs, about our CCAs and all, and I know sometimes these nagging questions that parents always have is, so how do your students perform at the national exams? Okay, so I'll share a little bit about that. This is the results of our students from last year's national exams. But for the last 5 years, our students have always achieved high value-added results in both the Express and NA for the NA courses. Okay, so at the GCE, O levels, N levels, our NT students also do very well. This is the part suddenly the cameras all came out. I said so much earlier, but this is the slide that gets everyone's attention. Okay. So, yeah, our NT students also do very well. They feature among the top in the band. Okay, so our 4 Express students, about 90% are eligible for JC or MI, 100% for Polytechnic. Our 4 MA students, 30+% eligible for what we call the Poly Foundation Program. For parents who are not so familiar with this is a program that students go to. They do 1 year as a foundation program in Poly before they go on to do 3 years in the diploma of their choice. Okay, very highly sought after, very popular among the NA students. Okay, about 95% DPP, 96+% for finance. I won't go into the details, but you can read more about these on our website or when you do a Google search in general. Okay, for 4NT, 100% of our students are eligible for IT. Okay, so beyond just the results, I think results tell one side of the story. But when we hear the experiences or the stories from our experience, I think that really attests to the good work that my colleagues and my students are doing. Okay, so this are our alumni, and you can see that they are doing very well across different fields, right? From science and research, to healthcare, to aesthetics, music, so on and so forth. So we have alumni who have done very, very well over the years. Okay, and I think today we actually have many ex-students back with us. Okay, they are not back for open house, they're too young to have children. Okay, but they come back because they miss school. And for the last 2 to 3 years, they haven't had a chance to come back. And we're very happy to see them. Okay, so our alumni we're very proud of. Okay, so starting with these two, Royston Tan, I think you'll be familiar. You would have seen him or at least watched his movie like Papa Yao and all. He's filmmaker. He's also the multimedia director for NDP 2019. Okay, and Royston picked up this passion for filmmaking when he was in Zhonghua. Okay, JJ Ong, or his stage name is Falling Feathers, musician and songwriter. Okay, and he also works with young people who are interested in music making. Okay, and mentors them as well. So both gentlemen have done very well in their chosen field. Okay, but what makes us, or what really heartens, or what's very, very heartening, and what makes us really, really proud is that they always remember their time in Zhonghua and they want to come back and benefit their juniors. So we've invited them back to speak with our students over the years, okay, where they come back and share their experiences, the industry knowledge, okay, and encourage and inspire our students to also strive for excellence. Okay, other alumni for these few, actually the earlier video that I didn't manage to show, some of these alumni were actually featured in the video. Okay, so this is Dr. Noor Hasbina. Okay, she's in healthcare. And I want to share a quote from her where she describes her experience in Zhonghua and how that has made her the person she is today. In my line of work, what we need to do is to be righteous. So earlier on I mentioned our school motto, that's one of the values. In the profession of caring, we need to be objective, we need to be impartial in caring for our patients. And I have obtained these values in my years in Zhonghua. And it's things like that that tell us we are definitely on the right track, we're doing good things for our students. Next slide. Okay, this is Anik. Anik is with A-Star, having got a scholarship and is now a research scientist with A-Star. Okay, and Anik's reflection, because he joined the school only in Sec 2. Okay, so my teachers cared for all the students. I had a lot of trouble catching up when I joined in Sec 2, but my teachers helped me push through and get the subjects that I wanted. Okay, Zhonghua was where I found my love for physics. Right, what they learn in secondary school really does shape the kind of careers that they take on and their lives in the future. I made lifelong friends in Zhonghua too. I would not have reached where I am now if I did not go to Zhonghua. So that's Anik. And lastly, this is Ivan. Okay, Ivan found this passion for starting businesses when he was in Zhonghua. Okay, and he continued to start proper startups. Okay, after he left, he went to SMU. Okay, and sold off some of these startups. So very entrepreneurial young man, okay, but also with a heart of gratitude to give back. Not just to Zhonghua, but also to SMU where he studied at. Okay, and Ivan is now with the Walt Disney Company, okay, so which also excites all of us. Okay, so Ivan's reflection, I will always remember my CCA Entrepreneur Club then. Okay, we don't operate now, but still have other opportunities right now I've shared. Apart from showing me the ropes of business, my teacher imparted to me the values of integrity and honesty. My form teacher, okay, this form teacher is referring to is Ms. Tan Chai. She's our HOD Student Leadership and Partnership. She's also a Chinese teacher. Okay, so my form teacher was a mark to live up to. It shows that a Chinese school with traditional values is not old-fashioned or backward, but is one that is rooted in culture and also teaches him how to conduct himself. Okay, so that's Ivan for you. So one thing you've heard from all our alumni through the quotes, really there are some things that always come through, okay, whether they are alumni that graduated many years ago they are newly graduated students or even students who are still with us now, there are a few things that always come up in our conversations with them. Number one, they really appreciate the culture of care in our school. That the teachers care for them, the teachers go the extra mile, the teachers put in the additional support, and know them so well that they know what kinds of support they need. Okay, the